We are live with Lunch Break Live. Oh, decadent truffles. Let's get cooking. Chef Diane, take it away.
Hi, I am making date nut truffles today. These are so simple. They're so easy to make. They come together in just a few minutes. In a few minutes, you won't believe we're going to have a big plate full of truffles. These are perfect for Valentine's Day. They're great for Galentine's Day if you want to share them with your girlfriends, or if you just want to keep them all to yourself. Just keep them in the fridge and have a little sweet treat whenever you're feeling a little peckish. So what you need, we need dates, nuts, cocoa powder, salt, and vanilla. And I'm using walnuts for this, but you can use peanuts. You can use, I make this a lot with almonds. You can use different kinds of nuts. Play around with it. Do what you like. You're not, walnuts tend to be a little bitter. You're not going to taste that bitterness in these truffles. So what you do, I have half a cup of walnuts here. We're going to put them in the food processor. My food processor has the regular S blade that comes with it. So we're going to put them in there and we're going to pulse until they look like crumbs. They look like cookie crumbs. I'm going to make a little bit of noise. I don't know if you can still hear me. Just pulse. You don't want to pulse too much. You don't want to get walnut butter. That's what happens if you pulse too much. But you want them to look like cookie crumbs. I'm going to let it go another few seconds. They're still a little chunky.
Well, this calls for a blender dance. I got to join you.
I saw your dance. I watched your live yesterday. So they look they look like crumbs. And then we're going to put everything else in. So we've got medjool dates, and I'm going to show you the difference between medjool dates and other kinds of dates in a minute here. I've got a couple types of dates to show you. So we've got a cup and a half of medjool dates. They're pitted. And I've got some salt. The salt is not to add sodium. Salt is included in recipes like this just to bring out the flavor. You need a pinch of salt and it'll really bring out the flavor. And this is two teaspoons of vanilla, and then this is just some plain cocoa powder, unsweetened cocoa powder. You don't want to use like hot chocolate mix or anything like that. That's going to be a little weird. So once again, another blender dance. We're going to pulse this. And you can hear it's hitting the sides. It's still chunky. It's gonna smooth out. You're gonna wind up with a paste. Blender dance. So it's almost there. Let's go for another few seconds here. Clear the way. All right. So you can see it kind of looks like cookie crumbs. It kind of looks like Oreo crumbs. Now, I said I would explain the difference with the different types of dates. So I'm using medjool dates, and medjool dates are big. They're soft, and they're used a lot in desserts because they're so soft. They're a little chewier. They're a little caramel-like. These are the other kind of dates. Deglet, I've never heard it pronounced, so I'm just going by the way it's spelling. I could be pronouncing it wrong. Deglet Noir dates. They're smaller. You can see the difference here. If you can't find medjools, you can definitely use these. These do tend to be a little tougher. So I would say if your date, and sometimes medjools, if they're old, they'll be tough too. So if your dates are old, just soak them for about 15, 20, 30 minutes, something like that. These tend to come pitted. So you can see they're already pitted, the Deglet dates. I don't think I've ever bought medjools pitted. They're super easy. I mean, you can cut them, but they're so nice and soft. You can just rip them apart, pull the pit out, and there's also like a little stem. You want to make sure you pull that out. Don't forget to take the pit out. I have accidentally thrown some pits into the food processor before, and it is a mess. And you do not want to bite down on that. That is super tough. You'll break your teeth. And speaking of teeth, mine look a little weird because I got braces. I figured if I'm wearing, my teeth are crooked, I figure if I'm wearing a mask everywhere, why not get them fixed? So if my mouth looks weird, it's because I have braces. And these dates are great. You can rip them apart and stuff them. I actually, as I was pitting them to do this, I was stuffing them with nut butter and having them as a snack. So they're great for snacking. Stuff them with nut butter, stuff them with all kinds of things. And you got a nice snack there. Okay, so we're going to take the mixture and we're going to make little dates. And what I've done is I've lined a baking sheet with some parchment paper. It doesn't have to be a baking sheet, doesn't have to be parchment paper, but you want something that they're not going to stick to. So I've got a little mini scoop, like a little mini ice cream scoop. If you don't have one, you can just use a spoon, you can just use your hands. And you want to make balls that are about you just form it into a ball, and if it starts to crumble, just squish it together. It's going to be a nice soft little ball, about an inch and a half. And you're going to get I would say between 12 and 20, just depending on the size you make. I'm not going to make you watch me make all 20 of them, but I'll make a couple. That would be a really boring cooking demo. And I have made some in advance too. So it doesn't matter if they're a little messy, there you go. I've got some more here that I made ahead of time. And so what you want to do now is you want to roll it in coating. So the recipe that this recipe is actually from Truly Healthy Vegan Cookbook, which is my first cookbook, and I use sesame seeds. You don't have to necessarily use sesame seeds. I also have some chopped almonds. I've got some cacao nibs. I really love using cacao nibs on truffles. It just gives them a nice little crunch on the outside. And I've also got some shredded coconut. So use whatever you'd like. And just lay it out on a plate or a shallow bowl. And then you roll them in there. And if it doesn't stick, I think this is one of the ones I made earlier. I actually just dip it in a little, this is just water. Just dip it in a little water. That'll make it a little stickier. And then you roll it in there, and you're going to get messy. It's fine. It's delicious. Lick your fingers. And you roll it in there. And there you go. And like I said, roll it in whatever you'd like. I really like it in cacao nibs. You can just stick it right there. And you might need to squeeze a little bit as you're doing this, just to get it to stick. And it's still soft. This one's nice because it's both cacao nibs and sesame. Yum. It's okay if if you squish, you're going to wind up kind of squishing it as you're rolling, just to get it to stick. And that's it. That's how easy this is. You don't have
Oh,
to have a double boiler. You don't have to melt anything. Just
wow. Easy breezy, and you can make
Yep.
them your own. Now, while we're at it, I want to ask you your most recent book. Can you tell us a little bit about some of your favorite recipes in there?
Yeah, so my most recent book is the Big Book of Vegan Cooking. And what are my favorite recipes? I love this. This is a savory galette. A galette is basically just like a messy pie. And you don't have to use a pie plate. And it's spinach artichoke galette, which I love. I think last time I was on Lunch Break Live, I made the shashuka, which I absolutely love. I make that every once in a while for dinner. I made this mushroom Wellington for Christmas. That's delicious. That recipe, actually, you don't need to get my book. You can just head over to my website, which is Dianne's Vegan Kitchen, because I posted that on my website for Christmas. And what else? There are some nice Valentine's Day dinner things in here too. There's a delicious cheesecake. I'm a sucker for chocolate and cherry together, and I have a no bake chocolate cherry cheesecake recipe that I absolutely love. And there are some great things for dinner as well. Lemon asparagus risotto. That's a great Valentine's Day dinner as well. This book is 175 recipes, and it's available in both softcover and hardcover. Hardcover is great if you want to give your Valentine a gift too. Yeah, lots of recipes in there. That one took me a long time to create 175 recipes. And so with these date truffles, I'm gonna have some here that I'm gonna put some coconut on. It's a little I made these since I made them earlier, they've been sitting out, so they're drying out a little bit in the air, and like I said, if they dry out, just pop them in some water, and they're sticking. And, just roll them in the toppings until you're done.
These are amazing. And you gotta say, these are great for all ages, right? All the way from children to
Yeah,
grandparents. I mean,
yeah,
what a
I think this is a
wow.
great recipe to cook with kids too, because you don't have to worry about anything being hot. The food processor's not gonna turn on if the top's not on, so nobody's gonna cut their fingers. They don't even need a knife to cut the dates open. You can just take the pits out with your fingers, like I just did, and you don't, no heat to burn yourself on. Like I said, that's how easy it is to get the dates ready. Yeah, this is a great exercise for kids, and you can give them to anybody you want as a gift. They make nice little gifts. Super
And they're
easy.
healthy and nutritious too. Not only are they indulgent decadent, but they're truffly and they're easy to make. And just like Diane said, they're a fabulous gift for anyone at any time. You want to
Mhm.
surprise people with just a love gift, a gift of love and health right here. Here they are. Now, have you ever put any goji berries or other dried
Ooh.
fruits?
I've never used other dried fruits, but I have seen recipes that use raisins. I'm sure goji berries would be great. Um, I personally, because I said I love cherry and chocolate, I bet they would be really good with dried cherries. I'm sure it would be great with any kind of dried fruit. Something that's chewy. Like I wouldn't use dried pineapple; that would be weird. But anything that's kind of chewy, like a date, like a raisin. Um, just use the equivalent and see how it turns out. If you try it, let me know. I always love to see people experimenting with my recipes.
Fantastic. Again, you can find Diane on Instagram at Dianne Wenz right here. I put it up as well as on her website. Head on over for all these great recipes as well as where you can capture her book there. We just want to thank you so much for joining us
That's
here.
my pleasure.
Break live. This is amazing. One more look at those. Can we see them up close?
Yeah.
Oh, scrumptious, delicious, delightful, and decadent. We'll catch you next time, everybody, on Lunch Break Live. See you soon. Bye bye.